Hey there! Welcome to Sketchbook Time. In this new series of videos, I will be forcing myself to sketch or paint on the first page of my sketchbooks. And some of these sketchbooks will be expensive and or special, which is why I have yet to use some of these, because up until now I was too nervous to paint in some of them because I felt that my art just wasn't good enough and I wanted to wait until I was a better artist. I know that to a non-artist this might be a bit strange, but this is actually a common problem with many artists. To start with, I am going to be introducing the sketchbook and the materials that I will be using today. So this is a handmade watercolor book. It's from the Handbook Journal Company. This was produced in the Punjab region of India using recycled paper. This is 140 pound or 300 GSM paper, and it has decal edges. The size is 9 by 6 inches. This sketchbook just looks gorgeous. It has wonderful texture. Actually, usually I don't like drawing or painting on textured paper, so that's why I never painted in this before, because I wasn't sure what I was going to do, and I wanted to make sure that whatever I put in here I would be totally proud of, because I'm not going to be tearing pages out of here. So I thought today I would play with India ink because it is October. So all my India ink is from Dr. P.H. Martin's. It's their Bombay line. So of course I have black. I have a warm blue and a warm red, a warm yellow, and then a cool blue and a cool red. It's actually magenta, but I use it as a red. You may recall I mentioned in a prior video that India ink can really eat up brushes, and so when I used India ink in the past, I would use these cheap old brushes that I used when I had a part-time job as a face painter. But I decided that I really need some higher quality brushes. So I saw these Heritage Synthetic Sable watercolor brushes. Of course, even though it says watercolor, they're perfectly suitable for India ink. These are fairly nice brushes, but they're not as nice as the brushes that I use for my watercolor. So I have a number 6 round, a 1/2 inch angular wash, then a 12 round, and a number 2 round. I also grabbed some other old brushes, including this freebie makeup brush. Thought it might be interesting to see what I could do with this when painting. Also today, I don't know if I will get to it, but I'm hoping I can experiment with gouache. Since the paper is so rough, I don't even want to attempt to draw a person on here. Instead, I think I'm gonna have some fun and try painting some of these wonky succulents that I've been sketching on and off. These are some of the initial sketches I did when I was trying to design some succulent pinback buttons. This is one of the buttons I ended up designing, and you can actually buy this off of my shop at shop.deets.art. And I thought I would just share this page of sketches with you. These were just some studies of succulent leaves. This is a photo of a cactus I had. It died, and I had been trying to get it to grow inside, but as you can see, the newer growth started being really thin and spindly. That happens to succulents when they're not getting enough light. Normally that's really unattractive, but I thought this was kind of interesting. It gave the cactus a really funky look. I think I'm just going to draw a series of prickly pear cacti on here. I'm just gonna start sketching and we'll see how it goes. right, the sketch is done. I'm not entirely sure of the approach I am going to take with this, so I'm just going to dive right into it. I think to start off, I'm going to try mixing this golden yellow with the turquoise India ink. that's it for this sketch. Overall, this was a pretty fun little painting, and I feel like it's a good start to this sketchbook. The painting probably looked crooked for most of the video. That's because this book is handmade and this page is crooked compared to the rest of the pages, and I didn't notice that, so sorry. I'll try to adjust it there. It was really fun working with the India ink, but it probably looked like I was working with watercolor. This paper has a very thick sizing on it. The ink would sit on top of the paper and wouldn't immediately sink in like it would with most papers. So the ink stayed wet and I was able to work with it more like a watercolor, and it would take a while to dry. That was really interesting. I did find it a little bit difficult working on this ultra rough paper, especially trying to get any sort of fine lines. In the future, I should just stick to doing plant life and maybe not even outlining the drawings at all. Maybe I will try doing some loose florals next. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did making it. If you have any thoughts or questions, please comment below and be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe.